Hi everyone, this is Spoorthi Vishwas, Chief Marketing Officer of TrawelMart, and with me we have Mita Vohra. Before I introduce Mita to you, let me tell you that today we're going to talk about this amazing destination which I've been wanting to go and I've heard a lot about. It's none other than Kenya. So let's welcome Mita. Hi Mita, so please introduce yourself.
Hi there. My name is Mita Vohra, and I am in charge of sales and marketing at Sarova Hotels in Kenya, which is a family-owned business. It's four families actually, and actually we were one of the pioneers in opening up the Indian market to Kenya many years ago, and it's a very important market for us. So very excited to be sharing
Thank
this
you
with you.
so much for joining us today, and it's a honor to have you. And I'm so excited and totally looking forward to learn a lot about Kenya from you. So, just tell us why Indians should visit this amazing destination in Kenya, and what's in with for the Indian market.
So honestly, I think for every market in the world, Kenya is a very special place. You know, it's often called the cradle of mankind. And there's just like an abundance of nature there, you know, and there's so many different experiences there as a result of it. I mean, we have stunning beaches, we have the Masai Mara, which is, you know, as you know, one of the natural wonders of the world. And
And this
there's
Masai Mara is something which is always in a, bucket list of travelers. Like, okay, once in a lifetime to do is Masai Mara. I want to go there. Yes, please go ahead.
And so it should be because, you know, it's incredible, the beautiful open plains, the savannah, the game. I mean, it's literally, you know, you're going there and you're watching nature unfold in front of you in a way that, I mean, I'm a big traveler, but the Masai Mara for me is literally number one. I
Wow.
love it. There's such an abundance of game. There's so many different viewpoints. There's so many different experiences you can have there, you know. And the thing is, in Kenya, we have the Masai Mara, but we also have so many other game parks. There's mountains you can climb. There's so many experiences you can have within any game park, which involves game and not game. There's, you know, wonderful sundowners that you have in the open savannas with, you know, lovely log fires. I mean, the food is incredible in Kenya. It's, you know, it's got a very good reputation for food, and our brand is especially probably the top in terms of that
I'm
area,
sure.
and we really understand the Indian market very well. So the needs are very fulfilled. Basically, you know, we do everything from Jane food to, you know, we'll serve you your dosas in the morning if that's what you want. And it's a very we have a very deep food culture, you know, because that's just it's such a big part of the culture.
Yeah,
And the
honestly, I think food is an emotion for every Indian. I mean, wherever we go, however beautiful the place is, ultimately it comes down to a point where, okay, what food did I eat today? And every Indian is like this, where after every 2 days, if they don't eat Indian food, are like, oh my God, something big is missing in my life. And like you mentioned, dosa and all of that. Okay, when you're traveling abroad, dosas which taste amazing in India, even if it is average somewhere else, it's like, oh my God, I got this. So that's how it feels like, right? So that's amazing to know that, you have, kept Indian market in mind, and you have always focused. In fact, you told me that Jain food is available and vegetarian option, and everything for Indians is there in your property. That's amazing. So just to ask you quickly, what's the duration of holiday that you suggest people when they want to take a holiday to Kenya?
You know what? There's so many places to see there. So you can frankly do anything from 1 week to, I mean, you can do 3 weeks, you can, you know, but to be realistic, I would say 1 to 2 weeks, depending on what you want to do. But one is short. You know, we also have, I mean, even the city, Nairobi, has a very it's very vibrant, it's very cosmopolitan. There's a huge food scene there. There's casinos, there's amazing restaurants, there's art galleries, there's orphanages that are, you know, amazing in conservation. And the city itself has its own national park, as well as, you know, obviously the whole country has many national parks, you know, and
True,
it's
true.
amazing for bird viewing, game viewing, climbing, trekking, adventures, historic sites. So it has a very expansive experience. And I think if you really want to see it, you need more than a week for
Wow,
sure.
that's amazing. So usually, the package that we always offer for somebody who wants to travel to Kenya is about 6 to 7 nights, or maximum 8 nights, and even it's up to them if they want to extend. But as you know, Indians prefer a shorter holidays comparative. When you compare it to any other, citizens of any other country. So when we consider this as, probably like a 8 night or a 7 night holiday, which are the destinations an Indian should cover in Kenya? Like the
So I mean,
must do's, you shouldn't miss coming, to this destination. You shouldn't miss these attractions or the destinations or whatever it is.
well, for me, I think that actually there tends to be a skipping of the cities. You know, it's literally spend the minimum time in a city, but I think that you need to actually see the city because it will really surprise in terms of how modern it is and how advanced it is in literally every aspect of entertainment, food, and lifestyle. But it also has so many peripheral things that you can do, like going and feeding elephants, feeding giraffes, going to the giraffe manor, going to the different, you know, there's tea estates, there's coffee estates, there's, I mean, the amount that you can see there is very necessary there. I mean, of course, if you're coming to Kenya, you have to go to the Masai Mara. There's like, you know, it's a treasure
Must do.
and definitely a must do. And I mean, you know, Samburu, which is a park where we have an amazing lodge in Shaba National Reserve, which is in the northern part of Kenya. And there are actually many other parks, you know, in that area. I think it's very special because it's extremely unique. And recently, I mean, it's been there for a very long time, but I discovered a gorge that you can go and trek into and walk through. And it really should be a national heritage site because it's just
Wow.
unbelievable. It's like, so there's a real wonder there. And Nakuru is another very amazing national park. It's foreign type species. It's very lush. Well, certainly our lodge is very lush there. So I and definitely include the Masai Mara, but with the acknowledgement that there are many more things to see there. Obviously, you can climb Mount Kenya if that's what you're wanting to do. You can even
If
climb
you're
Mount
an
Kilimanjaro.
adventurous person, then yes, do some trekking and,
Yes.
include mountains and all of that. Right, right.
But even wherever, like, for example, we do a climb, which is, you know, about a 45, 50-minute climb, and you go up at sunrise and you see this incredible vistas and then come down and we'll do a bush breakfast for you. So there's so many exceptional experiences that you don't really get in many places in the world
Right.
that you have there. So, I
Perfect.
mean, there are many national parks there. Obviously, I'm going to be very biased because, you know, the ones where we have properties is are generally the ones I will recommend.
Right, right,
But
right. Makes sense. So, you
there,
tell me, where all do you have properties of Sarovar?
so we have one or two in the city. One which is actually a historic heritage property, which is called
Mhm.
the Stanley. And when you come there, we also do a heritage walk for you. So we take you through the whole history from the Victorian era, you know, and we had the late Queen of England stayed there when she first came to Kenya. We've had numerous celebrity from India and from all over the world staying there. It's a very beautiful property. It's the oldest hotel in Nairobi, and it's filled with heritage, like every aspect of it. And we have an amazing Thai restaurant there. We have, you know, a full scale coffee shop with so many food options, including Indian food. Lovely poolside with a restaurant too. So that's one of our hotels. We also have the Pan Afric, which we have recently redone 96 of the rooms, and it's been done in a very modern African style. So there's a lot of texture, a lot of color. It's actually turned out spectacular, a beautiful new spa and gym, and so that's our second property in Nairobi. We have a beach resort, which is in Mombasa, which is very big for both leisure and MICE business. And it's, over acres of land. It's like full of trees and plants, and the landscaping is phenomenal. Very long stretch of beach, and you have those powder white sands in Kenya, which are just amazing. We
Wow.
have restaurants right at the front of the ocean, with amazing seafood, and obviously we cater for all vegetarian and Jain and every aspect because we're very used to that. And anyway, we have a very diverse food offering at all our properties because it's a big part. It's a big part of our company, the food.
Right.
And the hospitality in Kenya in general is exceptional. Anyone who comes there is really blown away by the people, the genuineness of the service, and wanting you to have the best experience. There's such a warmth in the people, and that makes any holiday amazing. And then we have another property. We have two properties in Nakuru, one
Mm,
which is on the lake and one which is more in a it's more in a towards the city, but it's
mm,
outside of the park. So, you can stay in the park if you want to. You can stay out of the park if you want to, but you can still go into the park for game drives and things like that. We have we have naturalists on site. We have so many activities for children. So it's very big for families, but we literally do the whole spectrum, from families to conferencing to mice. So we have a lot of incentive travel there. And then we have the Masai Mara, which is, like really amazing our property. We have organic gardens in all of our lodges, pesticide free, chemical free, and you can actually do lunches at the organic gardens and pick your own literally vegetables and foods that you want to have, and we'll have chefs provide you with an incredible meal on site. And then we have one in the north, which is Shaba, which is the one I was telling you has these really incredible adventure sites that you can also go to, which is a truly unique experience. And there where the lodge is literally perched on the river. So you have this flowing water, which is streaming throughout the lodge, and the water goes back into the river. So conservation is a big part of our culture as well. And we have this area where we do sundowners, which is literally on the riverbed. I mean, the sunsets are just to die for, and very often you'll see the sun and the moon, at the same time, and it's completely spectacular. So there are our properties, and we've just now expanded into Kisumu, which is a town which is actually also on a lake.
mm.
Um, and so we have a property now there too. So we have
Wow.
quite a large portfolio, and we really cover all the aspects. Like in Nakuru is a rhino sanctuary. So it's one of the few parks where you're pretty much guaranteed to see the
Mm.
rhino. And all of the lodges have some uniqueness in the game. So there's a really big diversity in the portfolio. Yeah, so that's us. We have 8 properties there.
Perfect. That's amazing. I mean, what was more amazing was the kind of passion and the kind of you know you were in fact amazed while while you were talking about these properties and these destinations. That actually makes us feel like, okay, it should be amazing. Sometimes when somebody is talking about their properties or somebody is talking about a destination, it's like, okay, they're talking about the destination, but somebody, when they speak about it with a lot of passion and when they actually like that property, is when we can see the same kind of context while you're speaking, right? So I really feel it's something which nobody should miss, and your properties must be amazing by the way you're telling it. So I can't wait to experience it myself.
Well, we
So
really look forward to hosting you.
Absolutely. I mean, I have Kenya in my list from a very long time and want to do it. And I want to do it with my daughter. So I have a 6-year-old. So I've been talking to Sir, and as Sir has been to, our director, Mr. Sundar, has been telling us that, you have to take children to this destination and they will be amazed by the kind of, animals they get to see, the wildlife, and, the kind of experiences that has for the kids. So tell us what's in for the kids. If somebody's planning a holiday in probably March, April, where the market opens up and it's a holiday season, what's in for the kids and why a family from India should get their kids there?
So, I mean, it's exposing them to a beautiful place with warm, friendly people and amazing nature. I mean, I would say for me, that's the number one aspect of Kenya. And nature is everywhere. It's in the city. It's very green. It's very environmentally friendly. I mean, the sort of conservation work that's happening there is incredible. So what we have is we have sort of kids clubs in all our units where we actually look after, so you can actually leave your kids with us for a few hours and we'll entertain them. But there's a very teaching side of it. So they learn about the animals and frankly, taking your children to see nature unfold in front of them is an incredibly special experience. I mean, it's enthralling, but there's also so much learning, within it. And
Absolutely.
there's something very amazing about the energy in Kenya. It's literally anyone who I know who has come there, like everyone I know who has come there, has had just incredible relationships, whether it's connecting to people, to culture, to nature, to I don't know, to food, to someone who served you. It's just got this very special feeling about it. And people come back feeling very fulfilled from a trip there. And most people I know come more than once, once in a lifetime. I mean, I myself have been hundreds of times to visit most of these places because there is something extra special about the way it feels and the way the people are and just the expanse of nature that you see, the amount of nature and there are so many different terrains. Everything looks different. So there's a fascination. And I think when you grow up with fascination and this respect for nature and this sort of wow towards it, you're just a much happier person,
And
really.
at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. Travel is about feeling excited about it. And, you are so curious to experience something different and you feel lively. You live in that moment and you create a lot of memories. And the kind of passion that you are showing towards this destination, I'm sure anybody watching this video would feel, oh, wait, oh my God, I'm gonna go there right now. I'm gonna go there for sure once in a lifetime. That's what I can feel right now. So, yes, coming back to the point of something which amazes everybody about Kenya is the migration of animals. Like, there is a circle. I mean, in fact, I got to know about it recently when I went to WDM and when I was exploring all of these destinations in Kenya and other destinations in Africa. I was, that thing where from Kenya to Tanzania, and again, that circle, what is it? So tell me,
Yes.
what is the right time to visit to exactly experience the essence of migration and see that amazing, sight live?
So, I mean, the main migration season happens from the end of June going into, I mean, people so it's sort of this 3 month period. But at the end of the day, it's nature, and the whole world is nature is constantly transforming, in regards to what's happening in the environment and if there's a drought or not drought or so for me, I have never been to the Masai Mara and not loved the experience because you see so much game, no matter what season it is. You see, a real deep kind of insight into all the different species and animals, and you witness sights and how they interact with each other, how they interact with nature. And I so the migration is in this season and it is a very special experience. But there are times you'll go in December, for example, and it's breeding season and you'll see, more cubs than you've ever seen, or you'll see a playfulness, you'll see there's not really for me a time that you should go to the Masai Mara, but yes, this is a spectacle that is very, very dramatic. But I would say there's no bad time to come to Kenya because, especially the
So
Masai
you're
Mara,
saying that
because you,
it's a oh, completely throughout the year, anybody can come to Kenya at any point of a time. Is there any season like it's gonna get too hot, it's gonna get too cold, or it's like, there is a season where it is particularly in this season, it will be extra special or something like that, or any day, any time is, somebody can decide to come to Kenya.
no, I really think it's first of all, it's temperate. It gets cold in July, August, but it's not the kind of cold you'll experience in other countries. I mean, our idea of cold is, it's not really that cold. So it doesn't get too hot, it doesn't get too cold. I mean, sometimes it's hot, but otherwise the climate is extremely temperate. Nairobi is on a high altitude. It's actually almost like a hill station. So you have this sort of coolness in the weather, but you have the sunshine as well. So there's not really a season that I would say. I think at one point of time, there used to be this thing of this is the season, this is the season. And yes, if you want to see the migration and that's your biggest passion, then yes, come from June to September because that's a
Mhm.
great time and you're going to see the migration.
Right.
They move location within the parks. It's nothing is constant, and that's the beauty about nature. It's ever evolving. It's ever changing. But what you see in Kenya, because there's so many sites and there's so many animals and there's so many birds. So whenever you come, you're gonna experience magic. That's what I
Mm,
would say.
that's amazing. So finally, I can feel that. I mean, Kenya is a great destination for anybody and everybody. It's like, whatever your age is, whether you're a 2 year old or a small baby, or
Yeah.
you're a 50 year old. Kenya is something you can do it at any age, any weather, any time, and it's a perfect destination. The moment you feel like, okay, I want to get to a holiday, and you're like, Kenya is the destination you can go to. So do you have, if you could tell us a little bit about the visas, is it easy? Is it on arrival? Or what is it? If you could just tell us, then the audience will get to know about it.
So the visas are done online, and it's actually, I think it's been one of the most efficient online visa services. It's extremely, it really does not take a long time to do it. The process is getting more and more efficient.
Hmm.
And I know there's been issues, in a lot of the European countries with visas, especially from travel to India, because we were there in July for a roadshow, and this is something that we discovered. But no, for Kenya, it's pretty easy, and we're
Perfect.
very helpful as well if you need help. So
Well, so then if somebody is watching this, there's no worries that you have to take, you have to think of, if in case of visas. So it's not like any other destinations where you have to pull in a lot of documents and things like that. Visa is pretty easy. The destination is amazing. It's affordable. It's a beautiful destination. You get to experience multiple things. It's an amazing destination for everybody and anybody. You can go there throughout the year and whatnot. So, what are you thinking? You guys have to check this out, and you guys have to plan your Kenya holidays soon. So, I will leave it to you, Mita. So, tell our Indian audience to say that, saying that you have to visit Kenya, and yes.
I think it's a trip of a lifetime, and you will be so excited when you come here, and you will experience things that you cannot experience anywhere else. That's what I
Okay,
would say. So
that's
yes, you
perfect.
do have to
That's perfect.
come. I think anyone who misses out on Kenya when they have the chance is really missing out on something.
Perfect. So I'm not gonna miss this, and I'm gonna put this on my bucket list in 2023. I'm gonna come there
Yes,
soon, and I
we're gonna
can't
wait
wait
to
to
see
visit.
you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much, Mita. That was perfect. And we know a lot of things about Kenya right now, and we will definitely push this destination because it's a destination for everybody, and we would love to, have a long-term collaboration with you, and we'll do a lot of good work, and let's show Kenya to Indian market.
Let's do that. Well, you better come to
Yes,
the
yes, very
start.
soon, very soon. Thank you so much. And thanks a
Thank
lot for
you.
joining us. So that was me, Spoorthi Vishwas. With me is Mita Vohra, Sales and Marketing Head of Sarova Groups Kenya. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you.